And we're welcome to the first of the Constructicon video reviews. We're going to start off with Demolisher here. We're going to work our way up through the scale of awesomeness here, because Demolisher is nice, but he's okay, but simple. Rampage is nice, a little finicky, and has a few stability problems, but a pretty cool figure. And then Mixmaster is just awesome. So we're just going to move off. First off, I know a lot of people were talking about, oh, they can't combine, and it doesn't look like the individual Constructicons can combine, unfortunately. But just to give you a real quick idea, I was fiddling. I was hoping maybe you could, if you could fold this up and flip this over like it is, you know how it appears in the film. Maybe you could fold these down like this. Find some way to, transform and plug in the garbage truck right here, and use these connectors to maybe, attach a leg or something. Let me see if I can get the whole picture here. But just to kind of make a vague Devastator-ish look, and clearly they're not designed to. It seems like it probably could have been done, because maybe it wouldn't be the most perfect leg, but this right here is pretty stable, and these guys really don't weigh too much. I think if you could connect it right, you could probably find a way to support all that. But alas, pipe dreams, and that's just kind of wishful thinking. But just to let you know, it is something that occurred to me, and something I fiddled with and found to be, and clearly these guys are not designed to combine. I was hoping maybe that rumored 7th Constructicon was maybe an extra piece to surprise us at the end, that you'd have all these pieces and like, oh, they don't combine, and then, oh, but here's the 7th one that somehow came apart and made the framework to make it all happen, but it just doesn't look like that's going to be possible, sadly. But anyway, now that we've seen those, we'll be getting to those other two here soon. We'll start off with Demolisher. And he's been listed as Demolisher, and in the big Devastator toy, this particular unit is called Scavenger. It's the same color, same type of vehicle, so there's some sort of naming issue there. I guess we'll find out when the movie hits which one is correct. Just for a quick size comparison, here he is with the Starscream. He is a little small for a Voyager. Not horribly so, but just compact. Just to give you an idea there. Also, of the 3 Constructicons, he's the only one so far, and I've seen all their instruction sheets. He's the only one so far that does not, unless there's some hidden instruction sheet that I haven't seen yet, does not have a 3rd mode. It's just the Scavenger and just the Power Shovel, if I can be appropriate. I know a lot of people are getting upset about Steam Shovel, which technically he is not. He does not run on Steam, but the Power Shovel mode. Transformation is, you want to unpeg these from right back here, attach those, and unpeg the treads down here like that. And then you want to split the entire claw thing, and basically you're going to take one of these and rotate it around, and then you're going to, there we go, like this. And there you see his face. This panel you want to fold down and back. It kind of fills in his upper body. You want to lift this up, and they will peg together right there, and then just makes the wheel round. I like to fold it back here, and then do the same thing on the underside here. Fold it down and around, squeeze it out, peg it together. Now rotate it so his head's facing out. Kind of rotate this around. Bring his arm down. There's a hinge here. You want to bring this around and forward. Then you want to take this upper piece, spin it around so you see his gears, and angle this piece down. He does kind of have backwards hands, but yeah, what can you do? Well, you can engineer a better toy, but that is not my department. I'm not in charge of engineering him. I just play with him. And then do the same thing over here. You want to kind of hold his head, because the arms are on that same gearing mechanism. If you don't hold the head, it will rotate down. But then flip this down and around. I'll flip this piece around and bring down the bar. Yeah, those do like to pop off. They're just these angled pieces just peg right into there. There's no, they don't snap in. They're just a round peg in hexagonal hole. So put it in, and so they do pop off on occasion, but it's not a big deal. Easily fixed. At least it's not broken. And there you have Demolisher in robot mode. You can make a motorcycle mode if you want. Kind of lay him down and turn his head so it's facing forward. And he does use that in the trailer a couple times. You see him. And if you line everything up right, you can kind of, these are on hinges, so you can kind of move this wheel back and you can put his hands down. You can get him to stand. He's not going to do it now, of course, now that I've made that claim, because that's just how things go. If you do it right, you can actually get him to kind of stand in a freestand in robot. There you go, a freestand in robot mode, like he's coming at you. So yeah, not the best of the robot modes on these toys. I mean, a lot of common design themes on these toys are either one-wheeled foot or one giant arm, one small arm. And like you saw in Chromia, she got both. Lucky her. But there he is, and then just as a quick size comparison for that, there's Starscream again. So you can see he actually does, in robot mode, I mean, even though he is like kind of open in his arms, like he is kind of bulky. I mean, he definitely becomes a Voyager-sized robot compared to a deluxe. But like I said, maybe not the best robot mode. He does have a lot of open space, but appreciably sized. If you move his these front things, you can see the gears move. That's his little Mecha Live gimmick. Everybody's been asking about these teeth, since there's a peg through there, and they do not flip. They're specifically designed not to flip. I could probably flip this out on that peg if I broke it. I don't know why they did that. It would have kind of given imposable fingers and maybe a little bit more articulation, but I wasn't in the design meeting. I don't know what choices they made or why they decided to do that on the toy. Or even just some sort of joint up here to maybe turn these arms around to look a little bit more proportionate or more normal, but oh well. Yeah, if you're going to buy the individual Constructicons, there are better ones. I don't think he's the best, but he's not horrible. I would definitely get some of the other ones before picking up him, unless you're a super completionist. And now that I have 3 of them, I guess I'm going to go ahead and end up getting all the Constructicons, but I don't know if I'm going to buy the big combining set. I'd much rather have robot to vehicle than vehicle and giant robot and no robot mode. Especially one that looks kind of like that. If they had one that looked more like the actual movie character, I'd buy it, but that just looks like a giant brick, and it just doesn't look all that fun. So we'll see. Who knows if I break down and buy it, but I'm not planning to at this point. There you have it, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Voyager class Demolisher.